Welcome to Sportsbet Daily at oddsmarket.com, and it's another week of soccer. We have tennis and darts tomorrow to go through all the winners and the losers. There hasn't been many losers on them tennis boys, I can tell you that. But we're going to start off with Champions League. Champions League means we've got Alex and Martin, and we've been doing, well, we've kept our head above water, chaps. How are we?
Doing good, thanks, Flash. Doing good. There's an interesting round of fixtures this time because a lot of teams are already qualified, but there's a bit of value to be had in opposing some of the ones that are already through. And I think you just got to be a bit circumspect and ignore some games when there's no real interest in them. But a lot of teams battling for points, and it should be a good round of fixtures.
Alex, I look at this fixtures. I've got 8 between the two of you, and you haven't duplicated any.
Wow.
Yeah, that's a first, not exactly a first one. I think that is the second time it's happening this season. I'm telling you, I have just 3 of them because the Champions League is the only league this season who is killing me. I think that I'm around -6 units on the Champions League, but thank God that we are doing brilliantly on the Europa League, Serie A, and new stuff going on in Bundesliga. Again, I went 3-1 with Banker in. So yeah, I'm more than 2.5 units of profit, I think, after being -8 at the moment in Bundesliga. So I'm sure that in Champions League we will have the same thing. I'm glad that the group stages are coming to an end tomorrow and after tomorrow, and the knockout stages will start, and I'm sure that we will have more action when they kick off.
Trials and tribulations of the Champions League. We don't know who's going to turn up, and there's been some dicey old ties as well. But Rafa, can we have a look at the record, please? So the overall record is 50% accuracy, just 1.2 minus. But as we say, it's all trials and tribulations until we get to that knockout stage. And we'll have a little look at the individuals, please, Rafa. So Alex, -6. Dave, who does some article at 2.6. He's had 2 out of 2. Martin, 2.1. So it has been tough, gentlemen. But get through this. And remember, there's a lot of sides that are playing, got nothing to play for in this week's ties. So let's slam it home. Let's start with you, Martin. You're going to go Salzburg 3.9 and draw 4.3 and Liverpool at 1.9. Now, on the face of it, Liverpool 1.9, they are the holders, but Salzburg at 3.9 or both teams to score?
I'm going to go for the away team, Liverpool, to win this game. They've been a bit shaky throughout the group stage. They only took 1 point off Napoli, which is pretty uninspiring, and they weren't great in their game against Salzburg at Anfield, to be fair. It was a high-scoring game, and they only scraped victory. But they need to win if they want to sew up the top spot in this group, and I think they've got the tools to pull it off. Jurgen Klopp's really been rotating his squad recent weeks, and they've been banging in the goals regardless of who's been playing. Been impressed by the likes of Oxlade-Chamberlain, Naby Keita coming into the team, and yeah, I think they'll just have a little bit too much for Salzburg on the road. Hopefully they can replicate that Premier League form in Europe, because I'm going to go for them, and yeah, I got 1.92 on that, which I think looks like a good set odds.
And I think if you really wanted to boost that, I would go for Liverpool to win and both teams to score. Salzburg, they don't pull any punches. They go on the front foot. They score goals. So for me, Liverpool and both teams to score, you'll probably get a mammoth price. When I speak to Alex on the next game, if you want to have a quick look at that for me, Martin, I think that's great value. Alex, we're going to
go... Sorry, Flash. I want to add something. You know that Liverpool, if they lose by 2 goals and Napoli wins their match against Henk, they will fail to qualify in the knockout stages. So I'm sure that Jurgen Klopp will not stay to rotate his squad this time around. They are comfortably leading the Premier League standings, and I'm sure that they will go to Salzburg to win that match. I think that you can look also at over 3.5 goals on the Asian handicap at 2.05. I think that is a decent price too. I think that Salzburg will score too with Haaland on fire, the second top scorer in Champions League and leading scorer in his domestic league. All the big names in the Premier League, and not only are trying to transfer him in the winter transfer window in January. So I think that Salzburg will play their chance there. But yeah, I totally agree with Martin that Liverpool represents value at 1.92. But also take a look at the goals market over 3.5. Not official bet, but just a lead.
Why would you not get involved in this game, Alex? Because I thought Salzburg versus Liverpool was right up your alleyway.
Yeah, the Alex Classic is just around 1.72. I don't know. It was just a last moment decision. I had it on my list, of course.
Okay, lovely. Well, one you have definitely got on your list is we're going to go to Amsterdam. We got Ajax at 1.66, a draw 4.6, and Valencia at 5.
Yeah, interesting group there. It's one of the single groups. One of the groups that 3 teams are playing for 2 places. Ajax with 10, Valencia and Chelsea with 8. We are expecting a nice win from Chelsea at home against Lille. Lille nothing to play for, so Chelsea will do 11. So Valencia it's a must win for Valencia away in Amsterdam. It's really tough to beat Ajax on their turf, and I'm predicting the Alex Classic at 1.8. I think that Ajax are still struggling at the back. Valencia with some good players from the middle and up. I think that they can easily score in Amsterdam. So both teams to score and the over 2.5 goals in the match at 1.8.
Okay, lovely. Martin, did you manage to find that Liverpool and both teams to score?
Yeah, 2.88.
2.88. There you go. Well, I will revisit that when I give you the rundown at the end of the show. Now, this is a game where Inter 1.64, draw 4.75, and Barcelona 5.75. We've been told that Barcelona are going to rest their key players because they've already made it. Inter a desperado to win this game and qualify. Inter at 1.64. How do you make the value, or do you not complicate?
1.58. The odds are dropping with every minute that we are talking, and this is why, because you mentioned about the players, Messi, Piqué, Sergio Roberto, Dembele, Artur Melo, Jordi Alba, Sam Medo are not traveling with the team, and I think that this is why the bookies are reacting to those news.
Yeah, I think they'll get a time though when Barcelona or the draw becomes far too big, but obviously, I fancy you're going to be with Inter, Martin. But how have you got the value?
Well, I got the value by betting on them about 4 hours ago when it was 1.67. This was always going to happen. The odds were always going to go in. When I sent you my tips, the price was 1.67. Still can get 1.67 if you go over to Black Type, which is a small but ambitious bookmaker that offers lots of attractive prices in an effort to win new customers. But yeah, the price is just going to keep going down on Inter. So you could look at giving them a -1 Asian handicap for a bit more value. Not exactly sure how they're going to win, but yeah, I'd be looking for the -1 Asian handicap for more value on that game. Just a question of motivation here. There's absolutely no need for Barcelona to go out and win this game. They have already won the group, so they're assured of getting a top seed for the last 16 draw, and they're also locked in an intense title battle with Real Madrid domestically, whereas Inter, neck and neck with Borussia Dortmund, really need a win here, and they've got the players to hurt a second-string Barcelona side. So, yeah, this would be banker for me, Inter win.
Inter win, and that was at 1.67. Go on, Alex.
But you were talking about also about Inter and both teams to score. I think that why not? That is a good price too at 3.0.
Oh, I don't see Barcelona scoring, to be honest. I think that Inter are going to make sure that they just get the win. I prefer the Inter to win 2-0, lock it up, and go back to their own way. So, I mean, win 2-0 and the -1 I think is in play. But if you can get on around the 1.64, and there is obviously a little bit of 1.65 about, but as Alex has told you, it's now 1.58 in some places. So that tells you the weight of money is coming in for Inter. Alex, Dynamo Zagreb at 4, draw 4.4, and Man City, like Liverpool, 1.9.
Over 3 goals on the Asian handicap at 1.72. I will keep it simple. Manchester City already qualified, already sure about winning this group with 11 points. He's struggling big time in Premier League right now. Dinamo Zagreb forced to win this match and pray that Atalanta will at least win 1 point from their trip to in Ukraine against Shakhtar Donetsk. It's very tough for me to believe that Manchester City will lose this one. It doesn't matter with whom they will play in their starting 11. I think that they are by far the better team between the two. I know that Zagreb are a decent side. They are scoring goals, but they are also conceding goals. I think that it will be an open match. Manchester City are deadly on the break. I still think that they will dominate the match because Dinamo Zagreb, they don't have the power to dominate Manchester City despite playing on their turf and despite Manchester City resting some of their key players. So I think that we'll see at least 4 goals in this match, at least 3 for a void. So over 3 goals on the Asian handicap at 1.72.
Okay, I wouldn't put anyone off Man City. Actually catch him on the break at 1.9 and putting him in a double with Liverpool at 1.9. A little 2-team parlay there pays probably just about maybe 3.8 or somewhere around that region. Okay, Martin, Benfica 2.2, the draw 3.6 and Zenit 3.66.
Not huge odds, but it's going to have to be both teams to score for me in this one. Benfica have scored in all of their group stage games so far. They're a really exciting, open team to watch, and I think we'll be in for goals in this game. Both teams scored when they last played one another. Zenit and Petersburg still have something to play for in this group. So, yeah, I think both teams just in fine form in front of goal. Zenit and Petersburg have got a better defence, but I think Benfica can open them up. So both teams to score at 1.7. Getting a lot of chat on the chat about the Arsenal game coming up. We previewed it on our Premier League chat on Friday. I was going for both teams to score and over 2.5 goals. Flash, you like West Ham on that one, don't you?
Too big a value, and just to let you know that if West Ham do go on and win the game, that will be over 10 units of profit for moi this weekend. Every dog has its day. Come on, West Ham. Arsenal are just not good enough.
Just another question on the chat. They're asking about, expected goals and expected goals against statistics.
XG.
So it tells you
XG
and XGA. It tells you how many goals that they should have scored throughout the season. Wondering how much emphasis you guys place in it. I don't really take it into consideration, to be honest.
No, it's an individual matchup each week. The big thing is with Arsenal is their front 2 or front 3 are world class. But it's no good having a world-class chef if you do not give them the world-class ingredients. And listen, the defence is not even championship class. We've said that all season. And yet one of us still says Arsenal win 2-0. Well, that horse has definitely bolted, and there'll be no more of that nonsense, I can assure you. But anyway, listen, get back on the Champions League. Alex, Shakhtar Donetsk 2.64, draw 3.9, and Atalanta at 3.6.
Before that, I really like the fact that Martinelli is in the starting 11 for Arsenal, and I really fancy him to be anytime goal scorer. I don't know the price for that, but I was just checking the lineups, and I really like him to score. I think that he's a young and brilliant player who will have a great career in front of him, and every time that he is playing for Arsenal, he makes the difference in front there. So if you want to take with a half unit Martinelli to be anytime goal scorer, you can do that. Probably I will do the same. Atalanta, one of my favorite teams, as you know. Again, they cashed for me in the 93rd minute with a nice late goal, as usual for moi. Shakhtar Donetsk, an exciting team too. Huge European experience in both Champions League and the Europa League. And on the other side, we have Atalanta with 0 Champions League experience. This is their first time they are playing in this brilliant competition, and we've seen how they started. 3 back-to-back loses. Right now, they still have a chance to qualify further in the competition. They must win against the Shakhtar and pray Manchester City will not lose against Dinamo Zagreb, which I don't think that will happen. So it's on their hand in Ukraine, a tough place to visit. Predicting again, Alex Classic there for me at 1.8. Both teams will try. I don't think that Shakhtar will have an approach, a defensive approach against Atalanta, because it's really dangerous to do that against Atalanta, who are absolutely brilliant in the attack. So both teams to score and over 2.5 goals again at 1.8.
Looks like a sensible move, Alex. Alex Classic, he does love that one, and 99 times out of 100. You have to wait till the 95th minute for it to come in, but it definitely does. As sure as night follows day, there will be a last-minute goal for Alex to cash, which we love, Alex. We love, and so do all the followers, to be honest. OK, let's off to the south of France. Lyon, 2.55, draw 3.7, and RB Leipzig, 2.87, Martin.
Yeah, difficult game this one, but I've just been so impressed with RB Leipzig in recent weeks. I've been writing a lot of Bundesliga articles over at Odds Market and been following their games closely. They're just absolutely on fire in front of goal. I think we all expected it when Nagelsmann went there. It's the sort of football that he likes to play, but he's got some really good players at his disposal, and they haven't been too bad in defence, which Hoffenheim, that was always their Achilles heel. And they're only 1 point behind Mönchengladbach at the top of the table, and really looking like genuine title contenders there. Lyon are a tricky team, but I don't rate them as highly as I did last season. And both teams have got a stake in this game, so they're going to go for it. But I'd say Lyon are the team that I would be leaning towards in this one. So I'm going to go for Lyon, draw no bet. You can double your money on that, evens, or you can get a little bit more at some of the smaller bookmakers. You can get up to about 2.05 on RB Leipzig draw no bet, which I like the look of.
Yeah, I had this game and I looked at it and went, very tight game. I think Lyon, they make sure they don't give anything away early. I can see this being draw half-time. If someone wanted to just have a 45-minute, I can definitely see this being under 1.5 goals first half, if not 0-0 at half-time. So very tight game there, but going Lyon, draw no bet at 2. Last one, Martin, Bayer Leverkusen 2.1, draw 3.75. And the expensive to follow Juve at 3.6.
Yeah, I'm just gonna think that there's absolutely no motivation for Juventus to go to Germany and win this game. They've already qualified, just like Barcelona. They're top of their group. It would be reckless, really, for Maurizio Sarri to put out his star players. They lost their first game of the season at the weekend. They had a man sent off and lost 3-1 to Lazio, which probably busted a few coupons. But yeah, I think they need to get back to winning ways next weekend rather than now. So yeah, I mean, they're 6 points clear at the top of the table, and they're coming up against the Bayer Leverkusen team that are in very good form right now. Beat Bayern Munich, beat Schalke, very strong at home. Kai Havertz in the number 10 role is absolutely sensational. So I'm going to go for a more motivated and fired up Bayer Leverkusen team to win at odds of 2.1.
Yeah, I don't blame you. OK, so you give me your NAP or your banker as Inter at 1.67, even though Alex has said now it's going into 1.58, but 1.65 are available at very small and up-and-coming bookmakers. And Alex, have you got a banker?
Shakhtar Atalanta, Alex Classic at 1.8, both teams to score and over 2.5 goals in the match. And No, I will stick with that. I
Top
thought
man.
that to put another one, but no, I will stick with that.
All right, gentlemen, well, thanks for your time. Let's hope we have a fruitful Tuesday and Wednesday and we get ourselves right up into the black, which obviously means that profits will be coming in from these two boys. Thank you, Martin. Alex, if you will stay with me, because we're going to go on to the Europa League with Chef Michael.
Thanks, guys.
Cheers, Martin. Thank you very much. Martin absolutely burning it up in anything he touches at the moment. Go over to oddsmarket.com and look at the articles. He also does some for SBR. Go on to the website. Have a good read. We give you the visual. Go and have a look at the editorial and you can put both them pictures together. Chef Michael, how are you, sir?
Flash, I'm doing pretty good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm sorry that we've got to have a conversation and not mention your Italian side.
Yeah, you watch that game. They played really uninspired, and you kind of wonder what they were doing out there. So at some points they looked lost. They were pretty lucky to even come out of there with a draw. So I mean, they probably actually should have lost that match with the way they played.
And if anyone doesn't know what I'm talking about, obviously Chef Michael does Serie A with Alex, and every week his profits surround Inter Milan, and they've not really let him down until this weekend when they drew 0-0. But not worried about that, because when we do Serie A later on in the week, we will be talking Inter. I have no doubts about that. Alex, this Europa League.
The funny thing is that Juventus didn't profited from that draw match of Inter. So right now, not only that they are at the top of the table, but they are with 2 points gap between them and Juventus. So that's a good week after all for Inter. We are sad that Chef Michael didn't profited, but we are still over 30 units of profit, the two of us on Serie A. So. And we are not even at in the middle of the season. So be sure to check us out on Wednesday when we preview La Liga, Bundesliga, and Serie A.
Okay, well, this has been a completely opposite tale of the tape than the Champions League. This is Europa League, and please, Rafa, stick up the record. The record, there you go, average price of 1.89. I love seeing that. Accuracy, 64.7 is totally scary. And 18.1 units of profit. And it's all down to you two. And we will see how you've got on. Rafa, the individuals, please. Alex at 1.83, 63.6%, 7.5 units of profit. Chef Michael, average 1.99, 66.7 units, percent accuracy. And the profit, courtesy of Inter Milan and a few others, at 10.6. And lads, that's absolutely top draw. 18 units at this stage of the season. And I fancy there's more to come this week. Alex, I'm going to start with you. Cluj 2.2, the draw 3.3, and Celtic 3.9.
Yeah, Celtic are already qualified and from the first place also, but the value is with Celtic. I mean, when you get draw double chance on Celtic at 1.76, on the road against the Cluj side, that they will be happy also with the draw here. So when a team like Cluj with a defensive approach are happy with the draw, with Dan Petrescu, the master of the defensive sides, because you had him as your teammate in the Premier League, and you know him better than me personally, but we know that he is the master of the defensive matches. He will probably play with 5 defenders, 3 of them central defenders, to secure that 1 point, because in case of a draw, they will qualify further. Plus, they have also the chance of Lazio not winning away at Rennes. We don't know if Lazio will take this competition seriously, because they did until now. So they might be happy to exit from Europa League. But Celtic with something to show, 0 defeats in 5 matches so far in Europa League. The better side, if you ask me, between the two teams. I don't know how many players they will rest, because I don't think that they will rest a lot of players, because in their domestic league, besides Rangers, They don't have no one to compete with. So those big names in their team should play, in my opinion. And I really think that they can also win. And at 3.7, again, a great value there. But I will play it safe, draw, double chance, or plus 0.5 on the Asian handicap at 1.76.
Okay, there's a few things about Celtic. They've really shocked me in this competition. I didn't think they'd get anywhere near the final stages, but they've absolutely cruised through. And also, they played Rangers at the weekend. I don't know how much that's taken out of them. So, I mean, that's why. I mean, 3.9 available earlier on today. You're telling me now it's double chance at 1.76 and 3.7 for the win. Okay, Chef Michael, LASK 2.05, the draw 3.75, and Sporting at 3.8.
Yeah, these two teams, they're at the top of that group. Both have already secured their advancement, but Sporting's at the top with 12 points, and LASK is right behind them at 10 points. So, I mean, they still have a little something to play for to finish at the top of that group. I think it's going to be a pretty entertaining match. I mean, both these teams, they get goals and they score goals in bunches. I mean, in the group stage between them, they scored 20 goals in the group stage between them. So the first match, I think it was 2-1, Sporting won at home. LASK had jumped out to that early lead in the first half, but Sporting grabbed that second half goal, two of them, and they took the win. So I think we're going to see the same type of match here. I think it's going to be an open, entertaining match. I've just taken both teams to score at 1.7.
Okay, 1.7. That duplicates the Celtic double chance at 1.76 in the first game. Alex, all conquering. Borussia Mönchengladbach at 1.44. The draw 5. And Başakşehir at 8.75.
This Gladbach side, absolutely brilliant. Also in their domestic league, but also in Europa League. They have a problem in Europa League. They don't know yet if they will qualify or not because the Turkish side are just 1 point behind them. So the Turkish side will come to win this game because they need it. AS Roma on the other side will host Wolfsberger. So I think that that will be a home win, and we know one of the teams. But I think that we also know the second team, Gladbach, who are on fire right now. And my play for this match is Gladbach to win. Is over 2.5 goals in the match at 1.72 because it will be a match full of goals with both sides trying to win this game. Başakşehir, not a bad side at all. I saw them playing in the Turkish league. Also some good matches in Europa League, beating Wolfsberger in both matches 4-0 on the aggregate, taking 1 point from Gladbach in Turkey. So this is an interesting match where Başakşehir will come to play and to win. It will not be a surprise if Gladbach will win 3-0, but at least we will cover the over 2.5 goals on the Asian handicap at 1.72.
Yeah, I mean, again, if you want to have a little look at the odds here, Alex, while I go to Chef Michael for the next one, but Mönchengladbach minus 1.5 on the Asian handicap would be the way I go. I think they win by 2 clear goals. This Mönchengladbach side, listen, losing can be a bad habit, but winning is a good habit, and both habits that I think that Mönchengladbach will continue to thrive. Chef Michael, PSV 1.45, draw 5.0, Rosenborg 8.2. PSV look like an absolute banker.
Oh yeah, this group D is all wrapped up. PSV, they really shot themselves in the foot there. They came out strong in those first two matches against LASK and Sporting in the back-to-back road matches. After that, they got the draw and they got beat these last two. Rosenborg are already, they're out there sitting on the beach. They got 0 points in the group. And it's really kind of hard to see them coming in here to Philip Stadion to get a result here. PSV at home are just going to be far too strong. They just one loss in their last 10, and that was against AZ Alkmaar in their domestic league. And at home, PSV, they haven't lost even in Champions League before they dropped down, and they haven't lost in Europa League either since coming down. So Rosenborg, obviously they don't have anything to play for. PSV still, they don't have anything to play for either, but they're not going to let Rosenborg come in here to their stadium and try to get a win, let alone a result. I don't see a draw here either. So PSV all the way here, minus 1.5 at 2.3.
Nice odds, that. Nice odds. I can see this being like a 4-0 game. I think that they'll have a party. There's always a great atmosphere in Eindhoven. I think PSV minus 1.5 at 2.3 is probably one of the best value bets I've heard all year. Alex, I'm just going to come back to you. What's Mönchengladbach minus 1.5 on the Asian handicap, please?
2.3.
So 2.3, so I've matched you. I think Mönchengladbach and PSV win by 2 clear goals at 2.3 and 2.3. Okay, I'm really interested here. You've both want to have a chat about this game. Rangers 1.83, draw 4.0, Young Boys 4.5. Alex, go first, please.
It's simple for me. I'm going for the goals market. It's a brilliant group with all 4 teams having a piece of the last match, trying to qualify further. Rangers 8 points, Porto 7, Young Boys 7, Feyenoord 5. So we're talking about 2 teams in. Again, is the same thing with Gladbach versus Başakşehir here, but this time with Young Boys better than the Turkish side, let's say. Young Boys coming for the win here, and I love the positive football from Young Boys. I really enjoyed them, watching them and seeing them playing. Rangers, a complete different team from what Rangers we know in the last couple of years. This time with absolutely brilliant manager, and I think that they can have a good run in Europa League. I think that they will not lose this game, but again I will play the goals market over to both teams to score at 1.75, which is also my banker for this Europa League round. Both teams to score, Rangers versus Young Boys at 1.75.
Yeah, couldn't agree more with that bet. I've got a couple myself. If you want to have a little look and give me some value while I speak to Chef Michael, Young Boys have draw no bet and Young Boys draw double chance. Chef Michael, what way are you going?
Yeah, I mean, copy and paste everything Alex just said. I mean, this is probably one of the most exciting matches of the card here. I mean, the group is wide open. Rangers, I've been on them a couple times at home. They've come through for me every time. And Young Boys, they're kind of hit or miss on the road. So I've tried to stay away from the winners market as far as Young Boys on the road is concerned. But both of them are scoring goals. Can't argue with both teams to score, but I took it a step further and got both teams to score an over 2.5 at 2.25.
2.25, and that's over 2.5. Listen, so what have you got for me, Alex, on draw no bet, first of all?
Draw no bet on?
Young Boys.
On Young Boys, the draw no bet is at 3.2.
And Young Boys double chance?
Young Boys draw double chance is at 2.0, even money.
2.0, and I wouldn't put anybody off of a 2-2 draw, and you can have the draw at 4.0. I mean, it's an absolute cracking game. I think the Young Boys don't get beat, so you either go with draw no bet at 3.2, double chance at 2, or you can just be greedy and go with the draw at 4. The boys have gone over 2.5 goals at 2.25, and both teams to score looks like an absolute gift from the gods at 1.75. That's Alex's banker. Chef Michael, I'm hoping that you've gone with a value here. Man United 1.82, draw 3.81, and AZ Alkmaar at 4.45.
Yeah, I like this matchup. They're both top of the group here. Alkmaar, they just score goals, and you just 28-0 over a span of 9 games. It kept 9 clean sheets in those games. United, you got to kind of think that they're going to be on a little bit of a letdown spot here, coming off that huge match against City in the derby. So it's kind of hard to figure out how they're going to come out. But I think, looking ahead, also they have a clash with Everton, and Alkmaar also have a clash with Ajax in their Netherlands Eredivisie domestic league. So I think we're going to see quite of a replay of the first match. It was 0-0. I think we'll see a heavily rotated squads here. Kind of just get out of there, get to the next level, and get out of there healthy. So I can see a replay of that first match, under 2.5 at 1.9. Staying away from the winner's mark, just staying under on the goals.
Yeah, don't blame you at all.
3.75 a draw.
Who?
Just saying, 3.75 a draw. Huh?
3.81 the draw, and I like. Listen, I think the draw and under 2.5 goals brings in 1-1 and 0-0. But I wouldn't go against anyone who thought that AZ Alkmaar would come across and put an absolute show on, because they are playing at the Theatre of Dreams after all. Okay, Chef Michael, Alex has already given me his banker, and I absolutely adore it. Both teams to score, Rangers Young Boys at 1.75. Where's your banker?
I'm going to go PSV minus 1.5, 2.25.
Okay, and I'm going to get involved here. I'm not going to put it on the record, but just if you just want to hear my little 2p, I'm going to go for Mönchengladbach at minus 1.5 Asian handicap, also at 2.3. Gentlemen, good luck. Let's hope you add to that, and I'll see you both Wednesday when we go for Serie A. Alex, you do a little bit of double homework because you're going to go in that minefield that you're dodging at the moment in the Bundesliga. So good luck over the next few days, Alex in the Champions League, and obviously Chef Michael in the Europa League. And I'll catch you both soon.
Thanks, Flash.
Thank you.
Cheers, boys. Cheers. So that's the Chef Master and the Grill Master going through the Europa League for Thursday, and the boys will be back with us when we go through Serie A, and they've been absolutely smashing it. Now tomorrow we're going to have a double show of a recap of the tennis with the boys, who this year had a phenomenal year, and if you follow them next year, I'm sure you're going to be in great shape. And we're also going to have the darts, because the World Championship starts very soon. Until tomorrow, we'll see you soon.